Get a starter screen. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Chris and Tim podcast, episode number 11. How you doing today, Chris?
How's it going on? I'm doing pretty well.
Doing good. Hopefully, everybody else is having a really good day. I know we just go live, and usually it takes a few minutes to get people in. But to get started, I just wanted to talk about Baylor wins the national championship. Did you watch any of the game?
No.
Fair enough. I did. We watched it on this channel.
No, you good.
I watched it on this channel with us. It was fun. And then it was bad. It was just a terrible, terrible game. Gonzaga was completely outclassed. Baylor just looked so much bigger and faster and so much better. So congrats to them to win because they deserved it because they were incredible. What up, Yuki? What's up, Hassan? Oh, Hassan, you were not the first one. Yuki was. Tough. You got to be quicker than that. No, it's fun. Thank you guys for hopping in and joining in the chat. Also, I just wanted to say congrats to Jermaine, the Celtics fan, for winning our first annual TheTimsSportsTalk Tournament Challenge. It came down to me versus him, and it came down to Gonzaga versus Baylor, the last game, and Gonzaga did not pull it out for me. So congrats to Jermaine. They took it on. Oh, Hassan says on his screen he was. Better, Jairus, I better not hear Mac or Jones.
Don't worry about it. Do not worry about that.
That is hilarious. All right, cool. Well, we are going to hop right in. And the big news of the week. Panthers make a trade for Mr. Sam Darnold. And they picked up their fifth-year option. I'm getting a little reverb. Is that from you? I'm not sure.
I mean, I don't got nothing else on.
Fair enough. That might be just me. All right, I'm going to turn this down. Apologies. All right, that'll be good. Anyway, as I was saying, so here's the trade. Can you hear me, Chris?
Yeah.
Good deal. All right, so here's the trade. A sixth this year, a second next year, and a fourth next year. Good trade, bad trade, meh trade. How you feeling, Chris?
Phenomenal trade.
Phenomenal.
At the end of the day, you basically gave up nothing for a franchise quarterback who definitely will pan out with all of those weapons that's around him. Plus, you got the number 8 pick. You still keep that pick, and you still get your franchise guy. That was perfect. If it's how you get your franchise quarterback and still keep your top pick, the Panthers showed that. Sam Darnold got Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, McCaffrey. They probably go maybe Kuhn at 8, or maybe Swell. I'm hearing they may go at 8. So they get an offensive line. But I like it. Sam Darnold is free
from the Jets. Yep.
And we got to see Sam Darnold take off.
Fair enough. I am not a huge fan of this trade, and this is why. Not because I'm not a fan of Darnold. I wouldn't mind if we ended up with Darnold. First of all, I think trading a second plus multiple picks, I know it's next year, but second plus multiple picks is a little much for this dude. But to your point, if it hits, it's cheap. If it hits, it's cheap. So there's some risk and reward here. I think it's a little too risky in my opinion, but if it works, it's cheap. I'll admit to that. Secondly, you have the 8th overall pick. You are in prime position to end up with one of the following: Justin Fields, Trey Lance, or Mac Jones. Whatever your fancy is, you have an opportunity to get one of those three guys sitting at 8 relatively easily. Pretty easily if they wanted to. Because one of them is going to fall. Even if they fall to 7, you could trade up one pick to make a blocker pick. But even if 4 quarterbacks go in the top 4, you still end up with one of them. And they're going to be on a cheaper deal than Sam Darnold. Especially the next 2 years, they're going to be cheaper. And if we made that trade or the Bears made that trade, I see that completely different because we're sitting in a spot where we're probably not going to get one of the top 5. But Panthers were right there in the spot. So I don't understand completely. Like, I guess they just don't like Trey Lance, or they don't like Mac Jones, or they don't like whoever. I know we don't like Mac Jones, but at the same time, a lot of people do. So they don't like any of these guys, and they end up with Sam Darnold. So I have to say, because of where they are, because of what they gave up, and who they got instead, I say this is a negative.
Two things. This is why I think they looked at it. I think, well, they know more than we do. I think they believe that two teams are possibly going to trade up. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure they got more information than we do. So it's like, if
I would hope
two teams trade up,
mm-hmm.
I think they believe Mac Jones is going to fall. Which is possible, because now I'm hearing that freaking Justin Fields is going 3. So if he goes 3, Lance and Mac Jones are the only 2 that fall. It's like, okay, Mac Jones is the likely one to fall to us. Mm-hmm. Hit Mac Jones and Sam Darnold. Pick your boys. Which one is which? I'm going with Sam Darnold. He's definitely way more mobile. He has NFL experience, and Matt Rule already said he liked Sam Darnold going into it. Mm-hmm. So why not? I can go get me a franchise guy, and I still can keep 8 regardless. I still can keep 8. That's the second way.
Because you could end up with Pine potentially, even Micah Parsons if you really want to take a super talent. I doubt Pitts or Chase. No chance either one of those fall to 8. Because if one of them's sitting there at 7, Detroit will take the other. So I love the Pine Sewell. If they do end up with Pine, I would love that for them. I would agree with that. But I don't know. I just don't think so.
I think it's phenomenal. I think it's great for them. You got a guy, 3-year starter, who's already been in the league. He doesn't need to sit. He has weapons around him now. He has legs. He's mobile. And you got 8. And you got 8. I can possibly trade back, add more picks, and make this team a playoff team right around him. Instead of taking a quarterback at 8, possibly sitting him. Now I still got to just keep the draft capital that I got. I got options now. I can trade back, add extra stuff. Go make myself a playoff team. Or I still got 8. Let me go get me a tackle. They got options now because they already got your franchise guy. So now I can do whatever I want in the draft versus me having to draft this franchise guy. You draft Lance, he's sitting. So I think they want to move away from Teddy Two Glove. So they was like, if we draft Lance, we got to keep Teddy Two Glove for a year. But if we go get Sam Darnold, we can let Teddy Two Glove, just let him go.
We're definitely going to get into Teddy. I'm just curious what you guys are thinking. Panthers are going to draft Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts will not be there at 8.
He won't.
Asan Moore says, from the stinking dumpster fire, the Jets. He's free at last. What up, Slimy Kev? Mac Jones, overhyped. We both agree. DRG, I'm here 2 weeks in a row on time. Congrats, DRG. Thanks for stopping by. Trey Lance is going 3. Interesting, says Expert.
I mean,
Cowboys like Kyle Pitts too. Watch out. Oh, they may be trading up. I did hear actually a little bit about that. They are really interested in Kyle Pitts.
That's great for us. Go get him. I want you to
trade up a bunch of capital to go get a tight end.
You don't have a defense. That offense, I don't care how high powered you make that offense. You still don't have no line. So go do that. Didn't work out very well for you last year. So continue to do that. That makes sense.
Yeah, their defense is going to be atrocious again. I don't know what they added or didn't add. I haven't followed them too hard, but they haven't added anybody of note. I can see that. Justin Fields is overhyped, says Tony. He's a first-read passer.
Yeah, Tony, you just dead wrong, but okay.
I think you're a first-read passer in Madden. No. You can't call Darnold a franchise guy yet? I mean, he's definitely he's a potential franchise guy. But yes, he obviously has sucked it up so far. Sprinkle's horrible. Yep, we're definitely going to get into the Sprinkle later in the show. Don't you guys worry. But, all right, so we got. All right, so let's dig deep. Let's dig deep into this. All right, so where are these quarterbacks going to go, Chris? What's your prediction? Where are they all going to go? At what spot? Who's going to go get them? Let's dig in here. What do we got?
So we shifted to the quarterbacks now.
Correct.
Okay, so
in the draft, in the first round, where are these guys going?
We already know It's going to be Lawrence, Zach. Three is the biggest problem because the front office wants Trey Lance or Justin Fields, and Kyle Shanahan wants Mac Jones. So they're fighting between each other with that. Mm-hmm. It would make right now Trey Lance is 3 because that's as long as Jimmy G is on his roster, Trey Lance is going 3 because they want to sit Lance anyway for a year. You're not having Jimmy Garoppolo on the roster if you draft Mac Jones, if you draft Justin Fields. Those 2 guys, plug and play immediately. You're not sitting them. Okay. Trey Lance is the guy that need a year. So at 3, it would be so dumb for you to take Mac Jones because you traded 3. You could have set at 12. I want them to take Mac Jones, but I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say they go Trey Lance.
Okay, Trey.
3.
All right.
Now to 4. The Falcons have no leverage or no teams because they're the ones that want to trade back. Nobody wants to trade up to 4. Mm-hmm. Now, teams called you to probably see. Now, if you overprice them, they'll leave you at 4. And they're like, you know what? Have at it. I can go to 7 to Detroit. We know how bad of an organization they've been, so I probably can pull off a heist with them. Let me go to Detroit. I don't need 4. So I think the Falcons, what they'll have to do, they'll have to bring down their asking price if they truly want to move back. Because I can go to 7 and get my quarterback. 2 quarterbacks fall either way. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if it's Fields and Lance or Mac. I think Mac has to fall. I just don't see it. I don't see them doing that. You could have set at 12. So I will go Lawrence, Wilson. I'll go Lance. Uh-huh. Nobody goes 4, 5, 6. I think Fields goes 7. And Mac falls to 15.
All right, so who's the team that trades up to 7?
We are.
We are? You don't think the Bears makes the move?
No. They're if you look at their draft capital, they don't have very much to give. And
interesting.
Since we're on this subject, I don't know if we're there or here. Okay. We're just talking about the quarterbacks. I guess I can talk about us trading up later. I think that's another topic.
Yeah, that's fine. But, okay, so, all right. To my prediction, I think it's still going to be Lawrence, Wilson, Fields. I still think Fields goes number 3. I think he's the best one out of the 3. He's had great years. He's protected the ball. That game against Clemson was just a huge star on his cap or whatever, clip on his cap, where he just completely shined. He hurt his rib, came in and chucked the ball anyway. He looked so good. I remember that day I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, should Fields go number 1? I was sitting there that day. I thought he looked fantastic, way better than Lawrence looked in that game, and they were playing in the same exact game. So I still think Fields goes number 3 because I think the Jets really love Wilson, and of course Jacksonville, they've been in love with Lawrence since they got the first pick. So I think Fields goes 3. This is where it gets interesting. Okay, this is where it gets really, really interesting. I don't think a team needs to trade up that high, especially not to 7, to make a move for a quarterback. Because I don't think the Falcons are going quarterback. That's why they want to trade out. Because they wouldn't even talk about trading out if they're going to go quarterback. They just wouldn't. Why in the world would you move or even think about moving if you're trying to get your replacement?
I told y'all they wasn't going to go quarterback.
Fair enough. Secondly, Broncos are not in the conversation for a quarterback. It's just not happening. They're not drafting a quarterback when they have Drew Lock. The only reason they were interested in moving on from Drew Lock is because they could potentially have gotten Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson. Okay? So they are not taking a quarterback. The only other team after that needs a quarterback is the Patriots, as far as between us and the pick. And I think the Patriots are going to fall in love with a dude like Mills or even maybe Mond to sit behind Cam Newton for a year. So I could see totally the Patriots passing on a first-round quarterback, taking best player available, whoever that may be, maybe one of the receivers, they desperate need for receivers, And they need a lot of different people. I think they need a left tackle. I don't even remember because I know their tackle opted out. Maybe he's coming back.
Defense more than anything.
They need a lot, but nonetheless, they may take best player available and say, I like one of these young guys, because there is a lot of talented young guys later in this draft. So if that's the case, why would Washington or the Bears need to trade up all the way to 7? So I think...
Because you don't know.
You don't know...
You don't know what these other teams are going to do. You don't know.
You don't know what they're going to do.
A quarterback is definitely falling to 7. It's just a matter of which two. I said it from the beginning. 2 quarterbacks falling. It's just a matter of who.
Right. 2 quarterbacks are falling to 7.
If it's Mac Jones, nobody's trading up for Mac Jones. He's going to fall. One of those quarterbacks is not falling out of the top 10.
Right.
But Mac, if it's Mac, he's dropping. If it's Fields and Lance, Fields is not dropping. Lance would be the guy to fall.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends on with that. But somebody's going to have to trade up. Because nobody's just going to stand pat and be like, okay. But I think like the teams from like 10 to all the way down to 17 got quarterbacks.
Except for the Patriots.
18, actually.
Yeah, 18. They all have quarterbacks.
Except for the Patriots, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing they want Mond.
So. Exactly. So if they are interested in Mond, and then Mills is a completely total prototypical Bill Belichick quarterback. Like, he is totally a guy that Bill Belichick should fall in love with. He's just exactly what he normally goes after. But, like, just safe, take what the defense gives you, smart quarterback that, you know, has an okay arm, but just runs the offense how you want to run the offense. That's what Mills is going to give you. But if that, like, and then you have the next quarterback needs are Pittsburgh, I believe at 20.
They're not going. They're not
4 or 23, 24. Pittsburgh, but they're in a situation where they want to win this year. They just sold out. They restructured Big Ben. They didn't actually re-sign Bud Dupree, right? He went to Tennessee, right?
All
right. But anyway, I think they may be in a position where they think they have a chance to win. They re-signed Juju. They have a bunch of receivers over there. They just draft tackle. There's a ton of tackles here, and they can get a good one there at 23, 24. So they draft a tackle. They could be in a position where Big Ben could go for one last ride, and they could take a late-round quarterback. And they already signed Haskins as a guy that sits there.
That's I think the Bears are definitely getting one late because they can't afford to trade up.
But if you're telling me the Bears can't trade up, Steelers aren't trading up. The Saints are the next one. Are the next one up, and then the Saints, they like Jameis, and they have Taysom Hill. Obviously, they're not going to pay him that massive contract that they like, or that they just paid him. But they have both of those guys that they're interested in. So who's the team that's going to trade over you at that point?
The problems is Pats. Denver, you don't know. It's something crazy.
I know. Denver's not taking a quarterback.
You could do something like this. You could probably do a 3-team trick where Drew Lock goes to the Bears and they move up. Or some crap like that with a team. You don't know. You can watch it play out. But it's like, I think one way or the other, you're just not. I don't think a quarterback's falling to 19. And I don't see a Lance because we don't want Mac Jones. That's clear. It's between Fields and Lance. It's one of those two.
Right. And I think Lance has a chance to fall even all the way to 14. Even if he's at 14, do you try to go up?
Do Denver passes?
Denver pass Lance?
Think about it.
Yes. They love Locke.
Let me just play Drew Lock, draft Lance, and
oh, that's horrible for a young quarterback. You're saying right now, if you draft Lance, you're saying Locke, you're done. You're gone.
They're going to trade him.
Well, then they would have to trade him. And if that's the case, I want him. Get my hands on Drew Lock. Forget Sam Darnold. Give me Drew Lock. Stat. Immediately.
They like him. I guess they'll give him one more year. But realistically, the number 7 is the pick to trade up for if there was to trade. Because I just think I don't. It's hard to the third quarterback is the problem with everything. It's the problem. If it's
the San Francisco is going to put the draft on its head. Whoever they take, that's going to be the head pin falling over. And also the Jets, they could still do something crazy and take Fields. I don't think they will.
I think they're going.
I don't think they will.
I think the owner said, well, somebody came out and said they're going quarterback, but I think they want Wilson.
Yeah, well, they're definitely going quarterback because they traded
Darnold, so they're definitely going quarterback. It doesn't matter who.
This is going to be Wilson.
I think so too, but at the same time, like I'm just saying that could put the draft everywhere because if you go back a few years ago, where it was the Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and Josh Allen draft. A week or two before that draft, the number 4 QB on that list was Baker Mayfield. It wasn't until the day before that Adam Schefter reported that the Browns are interested in Baker. Everybody was completely clueless. Like, people were talking about Josh Rosen going number 1, Sam Darnold going number 1. They were saying that Josh Allen was better than Baker, and Baker was going to be the 4th quarterback off the board. And I remember we were sitting there at 13 in that draft, and I'm thinking, I want Baker. Because we didn't necessarily have a quarterback at that point. And I was thinking, I want Baker. And then the day before, all of a sudden, Browns were like, oh, no, we're taking Baker at number 1 overall.
We got Josh Allen.
I believe we got Daron Payne in that one.
Oh, well, I'll take it.
So, I wanted Vita Vea in that draft, but he went to Tampa.
Oh, no.
And then we ended up with Duran.
We chose the right guy.
I like some Vita. But I don't know how he's doing in Tampa. I haven't followed him since.
He ain't doing nothing in Tampa.
Well, they just won a Super Bowl.
Not because of him.
Oh, he was destroying that bad O-line in Kansas City.
I ain't see him get one sack.
I don't know if he got it or not. He's that big dude with the hair. So, all right. So, anyway, so my point is you don't know who the Jets are going to end up with. You have no idea.
I got a pretty good idea. They're going to get Wilson.
No idea is a strong word. You're right. It's between two guys. It's between Fields and Zach.
The thing about Fields, his draft stock is dropping so low, and I have no idea why.
Fields?
That's why I say whoever gets Fields is getting the gem of the draft in the first round.
I think it's kind of what what's his name said. It's not a pro style offense in Ohio State. Ohio State still does that dumb thing where like the whole team lines up and then they set up and see what the defense is and then they stop and they look at the sideline. Like that's just not a good sign. Like if you aren't able to sit there and call the play or run the play as called and read your defense yourself, you have to rely on the coach to read the defense. Then that's a struggle. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's the main knock on Justin Fields. I don't like that knock. As far as I don't care if he's a one-read quarterback today. You coach that kid up. He's got so much talent. Because most of these guys are one-read quarterbacks. I mean, Patrick Mahomes talked about he didn't know how to read a defense until he got to Andy Reid. So most of these guys aren't completely grasping the quarterback position at 1 or 2 years in college. Mac Jones, I'm hearing, is a quarterback savant. I think that's why people are interesting. Apparently, he's an extremely smart dude as a quarterback. He's a dumb idiot off the field. But on the field, apparently he's some sort of quarterback genius. Huh?
Then he goes 3.
And if he goes 3, oh my goodness, one of them's going to fall. One of them's going to fall. And that's who I want. Whoever Lance or Fields falls, give me that dude. And I've been wanting Lance for a long, long time. If he ends up in the burgundy and gold, I'm going to feel good.
Bad, but I'm definitely going for Fields before I go for him.
I think Fields is more ready day one, correct. But I love Lance. I think Lance is interesting.
Fields probably would sit anyway.
Probably whoever we draft might sit a year behind Fitz. I mean, if a full year, they may not even sit a full year.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He will find his way into the lineup some way somehow. Just like I believe Heineke will find his way in the lineup if he don't start.
Right. Expert JK, let's see what you guys are saying. I'm going to start from the bottom here. Expert JK says, I thought Tim didn't like OSU QBs. Okay, look, listen, Linda. there's just not even close in the same ballpark, Dwayne Haskins versus Justin Fields. It's just not. I mean, Dwayne Haskins was Kyle Trask. Like, that, they're similar. I think Dwayne Haskins has a little bit stronger arm, but there's your comp, okay? Kyle Trask is not a first-round quarterback. I don't even like him later in the draft. But it's not about – I don't care what school you went to, because, like, who was the famous Texas Tech quarterback before Patrick Mahomes? Like, who was the famous where did Aaron Rodgers go? I don't even remember. But, like, who was the famous Aaron Rodgers quarterback beforehand? Who was the famous Clemson quarterback before Deshaun Watson? Like, I don't care about what school. It's about what am I actually looking at, and I think he's fantastic. Lance has a chance. There you go. I didn't even mean to rhyme, but there you go. Lance has a chance. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. For some reason, I thought you were a Cowboys fan. I don't know who he's talking about.
All of these guys need to be put in the right system to thrive.
Who said that? Is it one of the...
Slimy Kev. All of these guys need that.
Oh, there you go. Slimy Kev says, Fields needs to be put in a correct system for him to be a gem. One issue with Fields is that he holds the ball too long, which could be crucial in 2-minute drill in a real game. I feel like this is something that can be coached. It's not something that is inherent in a person. I feel like they can definitely be coached.
Help me understand. Everybody wants to nitpick with Fields. What about Mac Jones? What about Zach Wilson? What about Trevor Lawrence? Y'all act like these dudes just have no weaknesses at all whatsoever. Everybody want to pile on Fields. Y'all act like these guys are Joe Montana, just ready, just split out ready. Everybody wants to say Fields for Fields. First of all, Mac Jones can't move. He can't move.
He moved a little faster than you. He moved a little faster than you gave him than you expected him to.
On tape, he can't move.
Yep.
At all.
Yep.
Wilson and Trevor Lawrence. All these guys have weaknesses. Stop piling on.
Well, Trevor Lawrence is like the prototypical quarterback. That's why everybody loves him. He's 6'6". He's got a 4.7 40-yard dash. He's got an arm. He is like the prototype. If you asked me to print out a quarterback, especially in 2021, Trevor Lawrence is that quarterback, at least physically. That's why he's number one. Number two, Zach Wilson looks like Pat Mahomes. I mean, that's what he looks like when you watch him. The Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes. That's what he can be. Everybody sees how great those guys are, so they're interested in him. Mac Jones, I agree with you. Mac Jones should not be in this conversation, other than the fact he threw like 77% completion percentage, and his stats were through the roof.
That's easy. You got 2 receivers going in the first round, 1 running back going in the first round.
Yeah, which is crazy. I've seen like Najee Harris fall like way deep sometimes. I just think that's nuts, especially when you have Derrick Henry in the league today. I just don't see that happening at all. But I agree with you, Mac Jones. I also agree that the criticism of Trey Lance should be there because he didn't play this year. And also,
nobody used to talk about him neither.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everything is just Fields. Fields this, Fields that.
It might just be Lion season where like everybody wants to trash Fields and hope that he falls. Like that's what they call this time of year, right? Lying season. Patrick West, what's up, Patrick? What's up, Mr. Martin? You got JK and Yuki, Slimy Kev. What is up, everybody? Thank you guys for joining. Alabama offense carried Mac Jones. That is true. Or did Mac Jones carry the Alabama offense? There you go. Just kidding. The 49ers aren't drafting Mac Jones, says Patrick.
Yeah, okay. Keep believing
Zach
that.
Wilson is like Superman without kryptonite, says Mr. Martin.
Okay. He's gonna be just like Sam Darnold this year, and then next year they're just gonna draft another quarterback.
Merle Garrett says, great podcast, guys. Appreciate it. Mr. Martin says, I hope Dwayne Haskins falls to 19. And on that note, we will switch gears, sticking at the quarterback position, but talking about the other end of Mr. Sam Darnold trade is where does Teddy Bridgewater, as nicknamed Teddy Two Gloves, what do you see in Teddy's future there, Chris?
Well, it's been said that he's 5. It's been said that they allow him to talk with teams now, whatever that means. I mean, the Bears.
They don't have cap.
They don't. But that's the only team that need a quarterback. You're looking at the Bears. You're looking at maybe the Steelers. I mean, you're looking at maybe a backup in New England. I mean,
He's too expensive.
he has no future. I mean, where he can be a backup, but he has to take a big pay cut.
There's 2 spots that I can think of off the top of my head that he could end up. And one of them I'm not happy about.
Where?
Us.
We already said we're not interested.
Did he? Okay, good. I hope you're right. But
JP,
the guy who signed him is in our building.
That's fine. That'd be.
Please don't. Please don't.
There's so many things that you could have kept Alex with his $20+ million. And you go. Don't get me started because I'm gonna go off.
Expert JK says Saints reunion. I don't think so because they don't have cap either.
That makes the most sense though.
They just don't have cap though, and they're interested in giving Jameis and Taysom. They want to move on from. They already had their bridge with Teddy as a backup and withdrew.
John Shaw.
So I don't know. John Shaw. Washington might take Kellen Mond or Davis Mills. I like Davis Mills. I would like that. Kellen Mond I'm not as high on. There it is, Patrick. That is who I was going to say. The other team would be Houston. The other team would be Houston if, for some way, Deshaun Watson.
They got Tyrod paying him $14 million.
They paid Tyrod 14.
Like I think his contract can go up to $14 million.
What's the?
So, I mean.
And they already traded for a quarterback in Ryan Finley.
Bruh. I just cut him. There's nothing I can do with him. I can't do nothing with him. The only teams that can take the cap hits are the Jets, the Jaguars. Teams like that, they don't want him.
Yeah, and the Patriots already have like Cam Newton, so what's the big difference there, right?
Teddy Kluger can't go nowhere.
And I hope we're not interested. And you said that we're not. I'll take your word for it because I don't want to be.
Oh, JP Finley came out the day Sam Darnold was traded and said that he talked to people in the office and they said they're not interested. So,
perfect. Okay, we got our quarterback. We're just looking for a young one of the future. Sounds good. I like that.
And that wouldn't even make sense. You got 4 backup quarterbacks. One making $10 million, the other making $28 million. That's $30+ million tied up. No.
Fair enough. But you're right. Who is in that conversation? Because we just talked about all the teams that need quarterbacks, or AKA don't need quarterbacks.
Late and get that quarterback late. So
it's so deep. This is another reason why Carolina's move was not good.
Nah, it was good.
You about to have a $20-something million backup.
You might gotta restructure him.
Well, restructure just kicks the can down the road. You're paying this dude no matter what.
I restructure him and then cut him. I do something. You gotta do something with them.
That trade. It's interesting, and I like Sam. I just don't think they made the right move because they're sitting they're at 8. They were going to get one of the top 5. They were going to get one of them.
They made the right move, and I think long term it will show.
We shall see. All right. Anybody? Teddy Drew Gloves back in Minnesota. I mean, they have Kirk, and they're paying Kirk a ton of money. Houston has Tyrod, says JK. That's true. And Chris trash talking Fitz goat again. Richard Motley. Lombardi said that we have major interest in Lance, and experts expects a big move by Washington to get him. Y'all heard anything about it? Did you hear anything about this Lombardi thing? I don't know. I did not.
No, but I just want to wait till we get to that topic. Then I'll talk about that.
As far as like who we should take?
Yeah, and all that.
All right, let's go ahead and get into that right now. Actually, I didn't have it in the between this, but I like it. We're already on that topic. So, what are the Skins going to do here? We're sitting at 19. Quarterbacks are interesting spot where only really 2 teams are desperate. A third team might be interested in the Patriots. Us and the Bears are the two teams that are desperate for a young quarterback. What's going on?
This is how you look at it. Justin Fields is the guy we want. Lance is the guy that we'll settle for.
Okay.
The reason why Fields is the guy you want. One, you already said you loved him. That's one. Two, some of the plays he ran in college, we ran. So he knows the playbook basically. He fits perfect into this offense. He's the most NFL ready. Trey Lance, on the other hand, he fits this offense, but he's not ready. Now, I mean, you can an NFL ready quarterback. I think if you want to say Trey Lance makes the most sense due to the fact that he'll just be the backup, and we got like two basically starters in Taylor Heineke and Fitzpatrick. So you sitting Lance makes more sense than sitting Fields, because the fans will probably be more receptive to, okay, we get why they have to sit Lance. But with Fields, you don't want that in your ear. Fitzpatrick is stinking it up. Taylor comes out there and, maybe possibly gets hurt, and then everybody's screaming for. So now that's pressure on that quarterback. So, I mean, I'm not mad.
I mean, if Justin Fields come here, he's
Fields
the backup. He's over Heineke.
I doubt it. I think they protect him. I doubt it. I really think they will not play him if he's not ready.
Well, if he's not ready, then I don't want him to be.
Unless we have some magical Alex Smith situation where everybody gets hurt, and then Alex just pops up and Lance just pops up. I mean, it makes.
I meant Fields. I meant Fields. If Fields comes in, he's the backup. Lance might be an interesting situation where Well, first of all, if they're gonna switch to Lance. But I agree that maybe Heineke is the one that's suited up for a backup in game. But if Fitz is, if we're sucking it up, we're sitting at the 1-4 or 1-5 somehow, we're not going to just switch to Heineke at that point. We're going to see what the young man has. We're going to give him some in-game experience, chalk this year up, and see if he can bring us back. And
that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. Can you truly sit Lance when he needs to? It's kind of like the Jordan Love situation. You sitting this guy for what exactly? Because if you put him in there and he's nothing, you set him for nothing because you don't know what you have in him and you wasted a draft pick. Or this can be, you basically have everything around this dude to succeed. The offense is basically tailor-made for him. Mm-hmm. Basically tailor-made for him. It's no way that he cannot succeed in this offense. It's no way. I think with him, it's just his footwork is terrible. I hate it. He has the arm strength. Mm-hmm. One of my problems is he like running people over. No.
Not at the next level. Not at the next level.
That's another reason why Fields, that's why I like Fields, because Fields would just try to hurry up and get down. Uh-huh. You see how fast he tried to get down with that dude hit him. Trey Lance wants to run people low. No.
You know what? I just had to bring this. It's so I mentioned it in my video, but you just reminded me of a terrible runner is Davis Mills. Have you went and watched have you actually watched him?
Trust me, I watched him.
Oh my God. Talk about a dude that has no clue what he's doing on his legs. He has all that speed for no reason. It's so he don't know. I saw him slide. I mean, who was it in the league that couldn't slide? Joe Burrow. You remember Joe Burrow? Did you ever see those videos? Joe Burrow doesn't know how to slide. He sucks at it. And, he would, slide funny. That's what Davis Mills is. Davis Mills is, terrible. But you can go back to Trey Lance. Sorry, I just had to bring that up with the terrible stuff.
If that's correct, then I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm joyful. Thank you. Mm-hmm. But I'm not mad if we get Trey Lance. But the guy should be Justin Fields. But it's not like we're going to be like, okay, we missed out on Justin Fields. Let's go, Matt. No. And another thing, since we're on the topic, this is what I wanted to say. Uh-huh. It's hard for me to believe that we try to make all these trades for Matthew Stafford, for Jared Goff, and all these guys, and they don't put in a trade to move up. It's hard for me to believe that they wouldn't do that. First off, they said you gave up more than what the Rams gave up. They just had Jared Goff. They gave up 2 firsts and a third. Well, heck.
Yeah, but I think the big thing is that actually I think it came out later. The person that said that our offer was better is because we didn't have Jared Goff. The person that had that opinion didn't like the fact that Jared Goff went. Like, I think we were going to give maybe a first and a third or something like that. We weren't going to give, like, more picks. But they thought ours was...
They gave up 2 firsts.
Well, they gave up 2 firsts down the road, no firsts this year. So I think, like, our first this year at 19 and a third to that person was more valuable than the 2 firsts down the road and then having to be stuck with Jared Goff.
We made a trade for him, too.
Thank God we didn't get him.
So my thing is, if you made a trade for Jared Goff, I have to believe that you're making a trade to move up, or that you like put something out there. I have to believe that. It's no way that you can make a trade for Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, Marcus Mariota, Derek Carr. I'm pretty sure you put up a deal for Deshaun Watson. I'm sure you did that just to see. It's hard for me to believe that you do not put up a trade to move up to go get a quarterback.
Yeah, but the thing is it's going to be expensive to go to 7. Like, I know we talked about where, like, I said it based on the draft calculation or whatever of, like, maybe it only should take 2 firsts and maybe an extra pick. The problem is that pick 7, pick 8 are extremely valuable. Like, who you can get at pick 7 and pick 8 is way better than pick 19.
Depending on the team and who they want. Because I think the Lions are going receiver. And you can get Waddle at 19. You can get Bateman at 19 if you're going to do that. I think they're going receiver regardless.
If they end up with I don't know. I mean, if they want a receiver, then they're just idiots in general. So maybe they'll move back to 19. You should not. No receiver except for Chase should be in the top 10.
But
no
thing
receiver.
Is this. You need to move Brandon now. Do not have this be a Trent Williams situation. Because we waited too long and we got what we got in this draft. Get Brandon out of here. I want Brandon to stay. You're not going to pay him. Get Brandon out, please.
Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But, all right, what are you guys saying over here? Aaron Rodgers punching the air right now on Jeopardy, right? I need to join y'all podcast one day. Sounds good, Mr. Orton. John Shaw, I am okay with Christian Darrisaw in the first round and Jabril Cox in the second.
Heck no.
John Shaw, no. No. Christian Darrisaw is not it. He's got the size, but he doesn't understand the left tackle position. When you watch the film, people like Rashawn Slater, Elijah Vera Tucker, Liam Eichenberg, like these guys have way more hustle, have way more understanding of what they're supposed to be doing, and they have better technique. Christian Darrisaw, to me, is a huge project that I do not want in the first round.
No to him and no to JOK.
Yeah, JOK ain't it either.
Tired of hearing that. You get a no. I'm not even going there.
What up, Terry? How's it going? What's up, your mom? How you doing? Hope you're having a good one. Christian Darrisaw said that he wanted to play for us, and he was a Washington fan growing up. Well, if he's there in the second, we can look at him. Not at 19.
I don't care what he is.
I think he's at 51. I'd be fine. As I said, he's a bit of a project, but at 51, I would like him. But no,
not going with that.
Definitely not going 19. There's too many talented left tackles to go him at 19. Just not happening. Juju is coming back to do more TikToks. Yes, all over them. Tim JOK is gaining weight. I don't care.
Who cares?
He's overrated.
Listen, I wanted JOK when I first seen him. My problem is once I seen everything we do, we have no room for error. We don't have time to freaking test this guy linebacker anymore. You need a middle linebacker. You draft him. You still need 2 linebackers. Because I mean, I'm assuming we may sign KJ right because Ron said he wants to get one before the draft. But right now, you just need 2 linebackers. Right here today, if we going in, you need like possibly 3 linebackers. If you draft him, you need to draft another one. You have to draft him. He's not a linebacker. I wanted him because
he's a strong safety.
I believe we had the time to develop him but we don't have that time no more. No, stop bringing him up. I'm tired of him.
This is the most I've been unknown if what we're going to do in a minute. Yeah, well, at 19, there's so many different scenarios. KJ Wright is 9. And Anthony Johnson is saying something very valuable here. Pick 19. We're taking Felipe Franks, and we're walking out the door. And everybody's going to be happy about it, including Chris. Especially Chris. Chris is going to be jumping for joy.
I'm alive. Because I ain't got to watch it. I'm trying to tell you right now.
He's done.
I'm watching the Giants, the Colts, and the Dolphins.
All right, we got a few more topics here. Now let's go ahead and jump into what you wanted to talk about. So Brandon Sheriff declines the largest contract ever for a guard, according to JP Finley. Is a trade inevitable, and what is he worth?
No, it's not inevitable because I don't believe they'll trade him. If you're going to keep Brandon, you draft your quarterback this year. You draft your quarterback this year anyway. A trade's not inevitable because I don't believe they do it. I don't think they do it. They should do it. He's going to walk out the door next year. What's his value with a team? I think a team like the Packers would give up a late first, but I believe you can get a late second for him. Definitely. Because there's definitely teams out there that need a guard, especially of that caliber. You can get a late second for him. Add a late second.
I would love to get a hold of either the Jets or the Falcons, pick number 34 and 35. Give me one of those picks.
Well, if you
please.
Trade to the Jets, you got to give up one of your own.
Exactly. But I want to give up a fourth or a fifth next year because I think that second is worth it.
If I can give up a second next year, I'll do that. A second and Sheriff for the second this year.
Oh, that's a lot. I don't think we have to do that. I think we could do Sheriff in like a fourth next year.
I don't think they take that. We ain't got. That's what I was thinking. I was like, we can't throw in those guys to trade.
Oh, a trade. I wasn't thinking of a guy. Throw in Cam Sims.
That may work because they do need a receiver, and he cheap. But maybe I can get another draft pick for Cam somewhere else though.
That pick 34 is worth it. That pick 34 is so worth it.
It is worth it because
that could be Freiermuth. That could be Liam Eichenberg. That could be
first rounder.
That could be Jamin Davis. Like Trayvon Merrick could somehow fall.
That'd be insane.
That pick 34 is so valuable that I would love. Like if Sheriff got me, Sheriff and a pick. Or Sheriff and Cam Sims. If it was just those two, Sheriff and Cam Sims got me pick 34, I'm through the roof happy. Through the roof.
I mean, I'll take it. But you got to get something for him. You can't Trent Williams it. You cannot do that.
Right. But what is, like, I agree. I agree it's going to be tough to get that because as far as what his value is, the big problem with Brandon Sheriff is he's the highest paid guard in the league.
Well, that's not his fault. That's the team's fault. He wouldn't been the highest paid had Thuney didn't reset the market.
Understood.
Now he's the highest paid.
I'm not putting any blame. I'm not putting any blame anywhere. It's not about the blame. It's the fact that he is the most expensive guard. And he is the most expensive. You're paying a guard a ton of money. He's missed a full season in the last 3 years. I'm pretty sure they said that. Like 15 games in the last 3 years or something like that. He's missed a ton of games. But he's super talented. But he's a guard that's not very valuable.
Well,
it's tough.
I mean, for a team like Seattle, he is.
Ooh, Seattle.
But the thing about them, they literally have no capital. I think they have only 3 picks. I think they got 3 picks this year. And that's it. And I think they're all late.
That's crazy. I know they don't have a first because of the safety.
Maybe you can...
Jamal Adams or something? Is that his name?
They gave up 2 firsts for Jamal Adams.
Yeah, Jamal Adams.
So
Brandon Sheriff and Tim look exactly alike. Exactly. I can't unsee Brandon Sheriff in him. When I do my mouth like that, right?
I mean,
I shaved my beard, so it doesn't quite look as good.
I don't think it's inevitable, though. I don't. I think they're going to keep him, which is nonsense.
Yeah. I just would love to trade him because I would save 18 mil. Oh, my God, that 18 mil. And if I get a pick, even if I got a third for him, I can get a talented dude in the third. That could be, if a quarterback doesn't come our way, that could be my Davis Mills.
They don't want to get a quarterback. That's what I heard. They absolutely don't want to go late anymore because they don't want to develop it over time, which I've been saying, which you shouldn't. but
maybe
you should not draft the quarterback league. I'm not, like I say, I can't stand none of these quarterback league anymore because there's a problem with all of them.
Davis Mills is good. I like Davis Mills. Everybody else, I agree. All right, Sheriff Sims Collins for a late first. Collins ain't going nowhere. We would love to get rid of Collins, but he's not going.
Oh boy, oh my goodness.
We will literally, seriously, we would hand Collins off if we could. Okay.
If I can pull off the what they call it, imperfect man. What's the last pick of the draft dude?
Oh God, what do they call it?
I forgot.
No, hold up. It's
What is it?
Oh, this is gonna bug me. I know what it is, because Trey Quinn was it.
What was it? It's
Mr. Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant.
I'll trade it for that pick. Get him off the team.
I got it right before you said it, Terry. Thank you, guys. They're saying it now. Mr. Irrelevant. That's what it is.
Oh my God.
But yeah. But we would literally give him up for free if somebody would take him. Like, if you want him, you could have him. Take his contract. Like, that's how we feel about him right now. He's paid way too much. Oh my God, if we could get that $16 million back this year, that would be nice. AJ Bouye is going to Wakanda, calling it Wakanda, Carolina. That's funny. Yeah, everybody would get rid of him. Thank you guys, everybody who said Mr. Irrelevant. Appreciate it. I would love to get Simi Fehoko. If we could trade Cam Sims for a 6th and end up with Simi, that would be nice. There's still a chance Simi won't be there. I know, he's a guy that could range, like a big range. Right, he could go all the way from, he could be a 3rd-round pick. Like, Terry McLaurin was not expected to be a 3rd-round pick, but they ended up getting him. Well, fair enough. He's been super talented. But then, again, he could end up in the 7th because lack of route running or something. I don't know. Like, he could fall. All right, how many times we got? We got 52 minutes. Sweet. We're doing good on time. So, we got 2 more topics. And we've already touched on it. Actually, we just were talking about it, so let's go ahead and get into it. Apparently, the Ravens might be showing interest in Cam Sims. Should we move on from him, and what is it going to cost? But before we get into that portion, I didn't realize this at the time. I remember we put a tender on Sims. And I always thought that, because whenever I heard tender, I was like, oh, there's a pick involved. So usually when they put a tender on somebody, it's because there's a pick. Like, they put a 6th-round tender, or they put a 5th-round tender. So basically, if somebody takes them, we get their 5th, right? If it's a 5th-round tender. Well, I just looked it up today, and it's Washington placed the right of first refusal tender on Sims. So basically, they said if you offer him a contract, and we like that contract, and he accepts the contract, we take it over, and he comes back to us. And I don't know if that's what got him back to signed, because they didn't say who offered, or if nobody ended up taking him on the tender, and then we got him anyway. But what do you think about that, Chris?
This thing is not smart. I like Cam Sims. I was rooting for him way more than y'all. Mm-hmm. Now that the team is interested, I hope DRG's in here. You trade Cam Sims for a draft pick. He's going to be the 5th-string wide receiver on this team. That's what he's going to be. You're not. If somebody called me, hey, we want Cam Sims for a 6, bye. Done deal. Right on the table. Get him out of here. For what? What do I need him for?
I need that in writing. Stat. Right?
I can't wait till these training camps, OTAs. I want to know. I want to see what Emmanuel Hall has. Mm-hmm. Because he also
You know who Emmanuel Hall was?
No, I didn't.
Drew Lock's boy. He was over there in Missouri with good old Drew Lock.
Well, maybe he may emerge as something. But, I mean, bye. If I can get a pick.
I would love to get a pick. Even if I got a 7th. Even if I got a 7th for him.
You still got something. That's 3 7s we'll have then.
Uh-huh. And then trade 2 of those to get up into the 6th.
Yeah, you can do that.
There you go. Hassan says Cam Sims is solid. Cam Sims, I always pull for him and always disappointed, says Richard Motley. Oh, he retracted it right after I said it. Maybe I shouldn't read it so quick.
Let him go. I mean,
the salary cap will increase next year. Why not send Brandon long term? If we sign Brandon long term, you're not going to see me crying. It's just a matter of can we do it? You know what I mean?
He already declined. He's not coming back. So if you know he declined, trade him.
5th for Sims would be through the roof nice. Because you know who that could be potentially?
Stearns.
Exactly.
And an extra player.
Or Chaz Surratt.
Could be.
You know, I wouldn't even mind Pete Warner in the 5th.
I would have put a 6th round tender on him. That's what I would have did.
Yeah, some sort of tender.
Oh, that's what I would have did.
Oh, you spelled it wrong. I got you. I understood what you meant. I know you said Can Sims instead of Cam Sims.
Or put Kyle Allen as a tender because if Ryan Finley can extract what he extracted, why can't Kyle Allen? True.
Well, we traded a 5th for him.
I think you can get something from Heineke. If you can get a 5th, we traded a 5th for Kyle Allen. I want a 4th for Heineke.
Could you imagine?
I think the Saints would do it. Because I think Heineke would fit perfect with the Saints. It makes all the sense in the world.
He would actually be a good fit. I like that. But we're not trading him. We like him.
I know.
That's why we gave him a 2-year deal. And I like him too as a backup. I think he's a good backup for us.
He said he had offers on the table too.
Equals Cole Holcomb 2.0. I made a video on that.
No shot.
I think he's a great 5th round pick, just like Cole Holcomb, and I think he could be an awesome spot. He's got good speed, good size, good linebacker. Not your true middle linebacker. I still want one in the 2nd round probably, or the first pick of the 3rd. But I think he's a great, like if we had Cole Holcomb on one side, Pete Warner on the other, and then whoever we draft in the 2nd, whether that be Jabril Cox or somehow Jamin Davis falls there. Probably not quite as high on like Dylan Moses, so he wouldn't be my first choice. But who's the other guy there? Nick Bolton maybe fall. Like if we had those 3 as our linebackers, I would like that a lot.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We could use Taylor as a Taysom Hill. No, Taysom Hill is like tight end size. Taylor's very small.
I heard we got to use Montez as the.
Yeah, that's the rumor. We should
make a video on that.
That's a good idea. I might write that down. You know what?
Because I think that's interesting.
Steven Montez.
Boy, no, I watched KJ Costello. No. He is horrible. I was watching.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a quarterback. He is horrible. I was watching one of his games. I was like, I hope nobody drafts him. Because he is terrible.
Before we get into like the Q&A, as far as like if you guys have anything that you guys want us to, if we have an answer on whatever you guys have, great. But if you have a player for me to look into, that'd be awesome too. But before we get into that final segment, we got to talk about, you guys have mentioned it in the chat, and I told you would bring it up, is Jeremy Sprinkle. Good old Sprinkle Me. Signs with the Dallas Cowboys, and the only thing I wrote down is, yay. Oh, what a great signing for the NFC East. What do you got?
Why? I said use him. I think he'll be a great lineman. Change his number, give him 50-something, and throw him on the O-line. That's what I say do, because he's a great blocker. He cannot catch. His only use, he's great on special teams.
Instead of 87, make 78.
He's not even good on special teams. Because he couldn't recover a fumble a month. he underran it. He fell to the ground and the ball was still in front of him. He underran it by so much. I was like, bro, he's not gonna help. I think he's gonna be cut by training camp. He's not gonna help out. He's a great blocker. That's the only thing he's good at is blocking. Tell him put on some pounds, throw him at guard, and see what he can do. Or use him as the that guy number 85 the Bills had that look like a lineman.
Knox.
They're gonna no, not Knox. Knox is actually a tight end. It's another guy. Huh?
It's not Knox?
No, Knox is the actual tight end.
Oh, you
but
might be
the
right.
guy, he comes in as like a lineman, but he's like a tight end. But they use him as a lineman at times. I was like, Sprinkle could probably be something like that.
Jeremy Tinkles. Lee Smith, DRG said?
I don't know his name, but if that's what it is, yeah, him.
I don't know. Maybe. I remember the big dude. I thought it was Knox for some reason, but you might be right. I want him on the Cowboys hands team.
Oh, man, could you imagine
you take that?
Dropping the pass.
No, the hands team.
You know what? That is smart. I never thought, but the fullback is not even relevant in the game today. But he would be a great fullback.
He's too big for a fullback. Fullbacks are usually like my size, like stocky, like 5'10", 5'11". How tall was Lorenzo? Lorenzo was short, wasn't he? He was just a freaking tank.
He was one of the greatest fullbacks I've ever seen.
Lorenzo Neal. He blocked for LaDainian Tomlinson, right?
Yeah.
How tall is he? Yeah, he's only 5'11".
Well, he could be the guy that brought back the fullback position. Generational fullback. He is so.
You can use Jeremy as a fullback like Patrick Ricard.
I don't even know who that is.
I guess that's only in certain situations. Tim for Washington fullback. If it was 5 years ago, maybe we can have that conversation. Today, I would die. Put me through 1 day of training camp, and you'd see me on a stretcher to the nearest hospital. Like, oh my goodness. I play basketball with like 50-year-olds, and like, you would think I'm the 50-year-old. Everybody else is young. I am so fat and out of shape. It's embarrassing. But it is what it is. Somebody said ProTech. You said ProTech is going to do a football game or something.
Yeah.
Chris said, we're going to see what tight end skills you have. I said, you're going to see a fat man waddle. That's what you'll see. Oh, gosh. But Sprinkle could be the fastest O-lineman in the NFL. Still slower than Wes Schweitzer. Get that summer body? Yeah, that's... Oof. Yeah, that would be summer 2022 before that happens. Chris for Whiteout. Yeah, there you go. That's closer to the truth. Jeremy Sprinkles better not sprinkle salt on our logo. Ooh, could you imagine if he scores a touchdown on us?
Everybody should be fired.
I told ProTech, please don't break Tim's ankles. It's fine. I sit when I do my podcast. If he breaks my ankles, that's fine. Tristan Wirfs. Oh, yeah, Tristan Wirfs is a heck of an athlete.
He's a fat, fast, big boy.
Yo, did you see my video? No, you did see it, but I know you made that joke comment saying you didn't know who he was.
Spencer Brown.
Yeah, Spencer Brown. Have you looked into him at all?
No.
Oh, my God. He is a mammoth that can move. Like, he has tight end speed, but he's 6'8", like 315. And he has tight end speed, like a slow tight end, but like he's not a left tackle speed at all. Like his 3-cone, like Liam Eichenberg put up a 3-cone that would have been like 3rd place out of all the first-round left tackles that have gone in the last 5 years. And I think Spencer Brown ran like 0.4 seconds faster on the cone. Like it was something ridiculous. Like he ran like a 7.4. Liam Eichenberg did, and I think what's his name ran a sub-7. It was Spencer Brown. It was crazy. Somebody mentioned it last week to look into Spencer Brown. Thank you for doing it. The big problem with Spencer Brown, though, rawest of the raw. The dude played tight end, so he don't know how to play left tackle. Like it was so bad as far as he did not know what was going on the field. No clue. Like, he constantly looked back. Like, have you ever seen a left tackle, while blocking, look back at the quarterback?
Nah.
Yeah, he would do that, like, every play, because he had no clue where the quarterback was going to be. Same thing with a running back. He would be blocking and then turn around to try to figure out, instead of just staying on his block. But if that dude gets coached up The dude's a freak athlete. He's a guy that could be interesting. Trent ran a 4.840. I don't think that Spencer Brown ran a 40, if I remember right, but he was good.
None of those guys you just mentioned is Caden Stearns, Yuki, but
Richie Grant and Paris Ford. Paris Ford has been dropping crazy down the draft board.
Because he's small. That's why.
But that is fair. I will look into both of them. Why not? Richie Grant. Because I have seen their names. Another guy I should look into is that Javon Holland, right?
Oh, yeah, he's pretty good. I like him, too.
Javon Holland.
He's actually pretty good, but he's not that fast.
Because I got to get out of this mindset that we're taking
Merrig. We're just not. John Shaw says Brevin Jordan can be a great tight end.
I mean, I actually have Tommy above him now. I seen his pro day.
He's coming to the bright side.
I seen his pro day. The guy's stiff. And Tommy, he's very, very agile. He can flip his hips. So, I mean, Brevin Jordan, he's just too stiff for me.
No way. Eric Huffman just said Paris Ford ran a 4.940.
No shot. Y'all lying. Look it up. No, you didn't. I'm looking it up.
All right, yeah, you can look it up. Merrill Garrett says it's not Brian Christensen, it's Brady Christensen from BYU. I made a video on him. You could go look at it to get more context, but I'm not a fan of Brady Christensen until like the fourth, and then I wouldn't even want him because I don't want a fourth round left tackle. My big problem with Brady is he would end up on the ground too much. Like, he would all of a sudden be blocking somebody and then, like, trip over himself, and it was kind of weird. He also didn't seem to have the great strength that you would want in a left tackle. So Brady, to me, he's an interesting athlete. Like, he had one of the longest left tackle long jumps or something like that. Like, he ran pretty quick on the cone drills and everything. So I don't hate him. But my problem is that I don't think he's going to be a good left tackle in the league. I think he's too weak, a little bit too thin. He's like 6'5", 300, like 303 or something like that. So if he could gain 20 pounds and get stronger, he might have a chance. But he's a guy that I would not be interested at my left tackle spot.
Oh, my gosh, bro. This is the worst pro day I ever seen in my life.
He ran a 4.9?
This man ran a 4.9, 29-inch vertical, 9'2" broad jump, and 4.53 shuttle run, and 7.65 in the 3-cone drill. That's horrible.
Did he have a broken ankle?
It does 4.9.
Bro, I swear to you, that guy Spencer Brown ran better than all of that. And he's a left tackle. He did better than all that.
There's no way. Why?
Did he break his back? Like,
I'm about to see. It gotta be something that's wrong with him. Like, maybe he just...
I mean, those are borderline numbers that I could put up. I mean, good grief. Not literally, guys. I have no athletic ability anymore. But
you probably could put up those numbers.
When I was in college, I was not very fast or extremely athletic either. I could have probably beat those numbers.
A 4.9, bro? At safety?
Gridiron Yuki said, nah, Ford broke his brain. Oh, my goodness.
Bro, nobody's picking him up.
He's going undrafted with that.
What do you say? It says, this stuff's going on for over 100 years now. This combine stuff, so I just do what I'm told to do, and the film speaks for itself. Ford said, "I mean, teams know I can play ball, but they want to see all the other. Dude, this is the next level. They're gonna throw it your way every time. Every time. They're gonna say, go deep. I don't care how many yards you play off the ball. You're burnt. Just go deep. Forget about the cornerback. Just go deep. 4-9 and your 3-cone drill is 7.60. I might as well put my left tackle up there. Let me go put my left tackle at safety.
At least he has better length. At least he has better length.
Yes, he got it. Oh my God. Oh man, I can literally put my left tackle. Oh wow, it just been reported that Justin Fields will have a second pro day, April 14th. Niners will be in attendance at this one. That's interesting.
Nice. I edited his stats in Madden. Oh, God. I'm about to have Aprons Day if the bar is this low. You know what? Paris Ford is going to be Paris 1980 Chevy. He's going to be slow.
Hey, they just signed Nate Sudfeld.
Who did?
the 49ers. Sudfeld.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
If this is any indication, the Mac Man will be in town.
Richie Motley said Walker Little is going to be a steal. Dude is a freak. Yeah, I made a video on him as well. I really like him with one of those third-round picks potentially. And honestly, if he's there at 51, I wouldn't freak out if they took him at 51.
I would. That's too high.
Oh, dude, he's 6'7". He's got a ton of talent. He just hasn't played. He would be a first-round pick. He would be a first-round pick if he played his whole career. Like, if he played this past 2 years, he'd easily be a first-round pick.
Not if I can get him late.
Yeah, but the thing is that you don't know if somebody else is going to reach on him, and you need a left tackle. He could be there. It also depends on like what kind of linebackers are left. Obviously, if there was a run on linebackers and all you have there is Nick Bolton or Jabril Cox.
You run on receivers too.
I don't care about receiver early. You know me.
I'm saying, but there's going to be a run on receivers. I mean, he's not going to be picked before them. Then you still got the tight ends. You got the corners, a deep cornerback class.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, okay, if you're sitting there at 51, and then Nick Bolton, Jabril Cox, and, like, Jamin Davis are all sitting there, one of them should fall to 70. 72.
Jamin's not falling. And
I know.
Cox, I'm sure that's not falling.
One of them should fall. I feel like at that point, if all three of them are sitting at 51, and then like let's say Liam Eichenberg's already gone, Jalen Mayfield's already gone, Taven Jenkins is already gone, and you're sitting there with Walker Little, I would not be freaking out with Walker Little.
I wouldn't take him that high.
But anyway, we're picking at straws here. I agree with you. I would rather get him in the third, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be sitting here up in arms if they took him at 51. Sweet. Liam Eichenberg. I love Liam Eichenberg. I took him. The one thing I found out on him, for some reason I missed this when I did my video. I was just so excited by the film. I thought his film was fantastic. Is he actually has somewhat shorter arms. Like he doesn't even have 33-inch arms. He doesn't even have 32.5-inch arms, which is kind of crazy small. Which may force him to move inside, but I think he still has great size for left tackle. He just has to gain, in my opinion, like 15 pounds, and the dude's a beast. Meryl Garrett says, so do you think this coaching staff can coach up these players? You can't always get great players in every round. Absolutely. I feel like this coaching staff has shown that they can develop young players in one season already, but go ahead.
We don't have Cal Smith. That's the big thing. That's why this draft is so important. We don't have Cal Smith. He picked freaking Antonio Gibson. He's the only one that magically knew that Cameron Curl was going to be this great. We don't have – this is my problem. You're not going to keep – well, we don't even have no more. You're not about to keep lucking up with players like this. Not every player is just a one-year guy, and then they just magically come into their own. They still can get better, but they're now seen as stars. You got guys like Brian Westbrook, the running back for the Eagles, saying, and Rodney Harrison for the Patriots saying that Antonio Gibson is going to be a top 5 back this year. Mm-hmm. He didn't even play. He played running back a little bit in college. Came here 1 year. Now everybody thinks he's going to be a top 5 guy. Cameron Curl came out of nowhere. To me, he's going to shoot up there being top 5 safety this year. To me, you don't get Terry. Who's seen? My first year, I seen what he did in the first game against the Eagles. He would have had 200+ yards receiving had Case Keenum didn't overthrow that last bomb. That would have been 2 touchdowns. I didn't see that. I didn't even see Terry. Terry popped off the screen, jumping, making 50-50 catches his first year. We didn't see that. Now in this draft, who is evaluating the talent? So, I mean, you might not get those Cameron Crows anymore. You might not get none of those guys no more.
For sure. Yuki says, is it me or does Nate Sudfeld look like Jay Cutler and Nick Foles? I don't know. I remember we drafted him from Indiana, and he's nothing.
And that's another thing. We think about drafting a long snapper, I heard. Thanks, John Shaw, for bringing that up.
We might as well draft a long snapper and a kicker. There is a kicker that I would love to draft. There's a kicker that I would love to draft. Not kidding. No cap.
What new players?
What new players?
DRG said all the new players are. What new players are happy to see Ron? Who? Curtis Samuel knew Ron from when he was in, so he can't be happy. William Jackson.
Will Jack.
What all the new
Ryan
players?
Fitzpatrick.
Who else?
Everybody else came from Carolina.
Exactly. So all the what players?
Yeah, Rodney Harrison retired. He was just saying he used to play for the Patriots. Now he's a commentator on ESPN, and he was saying that he was talking about Antonio Gibson is going to be good this year. Will Jack, Curtis, and Humphreys.
Curtis Samuel does not count. Will Jack, okay. Humphreys, he's irrelevant to me. He's probably going to get cut, possibly.
Bob Esther has a good one.
After you pulled up to the FedEx. No, I have to be signed for his tragic. I pulled up.
I know. Well, that's what you said. What happened after you pulled up to FedEx after we signed Fitztragic?
And I don't know. Maybe they might. They looking to trade up now all of a sudden. So maybe they looking to trade up finally.
All right, we'll end on this one. Going again, having no faith. But all right, guys, it was fun. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you, Chris, for another great week of conversation. Thank you guys who all watched. We had at one point I think 27 viewers. Now we have 19. You guys are all the goats. Appreciate it. You have any last words over there, Chris?
I'm watching this Redskins and 49ers game that is about to replay.
Uh-oh.
So y'all go check that game out and rewatch.
And he'll be in the Discord to discuss.
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah, Giovanni Bernard's not coming here. He might go wherever Jay Gruden goes. But anyway, you guys, thank you very much. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Also, there is a Discord link. If you're not in it, get in there and join the Discord. And last but not least, there are donation links in the description below. If you feel so kind, you could donate. But until next time.
Until next time.
See ya!